we're just going to hop back in. You guys run around the corner, and you're back in the same room.
Can Handy's going to run out, basically turn around and go in the opposite direction?
You can't. There's a door there.
Oh, interesting.
So when you go up the stairs and through the door, you basically imagine there's kind of like not like a shadow curtain, but you kind of like step into the room, and it would be like if you were to step into the room for the first time and it's like too bright for some reason, your eyes have to adjust. There's just kind of this one transformational moment that takes place, and it just kind of blips you back to the beginning of the room where you're outside of the priestess bedroom. So the stairway that you went in is across the room.
Handy, I'm gonna knock on the priestesses door.
On Liv's door.
Liv's door.
She opens the door and yes.
We went up there, and I'll point, and then we got back here. We're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get out?
The exit's right over there.
Does she point to the same stairwell?
Yes.
Okay. I'll try again, and Handy's gonna try it again and go up the stairs and through.
All right, and she closes the door, and
dang it.
You go running, and you blip back into the same place.
Does he just poof into the spot, or does he look like he's coming out of the door? Whenever he comes back through.
Yeah, because we're all at the bottom of the stairs, right? So we're seeing him he runs past us up the stairs, and we just see him as he steps through the door that we're looking at the top of the stairs. He just
it's a little of both. Because it's not like he's necessarily just teleporting to that one spot where he's removed from the door. It kind of looks like he phases into the room through the door.
Okay.
It's very quick though, so it's like if you were invisible running through the door and then you just kind of became visible very quickly, instead of you just being in a spot standing there and then showing up. Semantics, it's not really all that much different.
And any other ideas?
It seems like there's a portal that just teleports you right back to the beginning of this room. I don't know what to do.
Did the statue still hasn't changed? Is it still looking
at us?
Always at us?
Yes.
When Handy runs from the top of the stairs and then appears on the other side of the room, from my perspective, if I'm watching the statue when he does that, does anything change with the statue?
No, not that you can see.
But when Handy appears, the snake's still looking at him. This is the whole optical illusion with the eyes thing.
Well, it looks like it's looking at you.
But it also looks like it's looking at Handy to Handy, yeah?
Yes.
And just a refresher for me, the figures all went flat.
Yes.
The chanting stopped because they're no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Snake statue in the center of the room. And then weren't there other little smaller statues in different poses and things?
Yeah, there were just a variety of what would you call the reverse of animorphing? Humanorphing? there were a variety of snake-like figures that had bipedal characteristics. Not necessarily human, but there are lots of creatures that have arms and legs and faces and other stuff. And then so there's a variety of different sized shrines basically scattered around the room. And then off to the right, there's another door. This is the only other real thing of note in the room.
Any of the humanorphs, any of those transitions, are any of them have characteristics that are easily distinguishable between goblin, halfling, or human? Any specifics that would match this party composition?
I don't think you would probably be able to. There's probably a dozen different figurines throughout the room.
All right.
I wouldn't say that if the question here is puzzle mechanics related to your team, no. It's not the goblin has to touch the goblin statue
Okay.
magically appear somewhere else. There's just a variety of different mix-up. You look at a pair of arms on, one of the snakes, and you might think they're goblin arms, and someone else might think that they're human arms. So, like,
Gotcha.
I want to walk to the top of the stairs, and I don't want to walk through the door, but I want to look through the door. What do I see on the other side of the door?
it's a short hallway that, like, banks off to the right. So you can't see into the next room. You just see that there's somewhere else to go.
Stick my arm out and just kind of, like, I'm just going to slowly move my arm forward through the door.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
No.
Can you guys see my arm?
Do we see his arm?
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm gonna just keep walking forward with my arm out.
All right. You're walking forward really slow, and I know that you're what you're doing is you're anticipating, like, where's the trigger point, or where is there like a false illusion where I'm gonna, like, magically be half in and half out, and it doesn't happen. You cross the threshold with your entire body through the doorway, and then you are now back in your starting position.
So I'm just standing, and now I'm just looking at the snake statue again.
Yep.
With Handy next to me.
And you said there were the cultist people, worshippers, still kind of there, right?
No.
Like the robes.
Well, the robes are on the floor.
I want to go look at the robes.
I want to join in that.
All right.
I want to pick one up.
Okay. You kind of rummage through them, and the fact that they're all flat on the ground probably gives you some indication to size. So there is one that you can find. It will still be, like, it wasn't necessarily halfling sized. Let's see here. What's the funnest way to do this?
Mimic.
No, I'm trying to think of a way of all right, roll me a D6.
D6. That's a 1.
Okay. So it just happens that the scale of these, let's explain it this way. You needed a 3 to find one that was your size, and you happened to find one that was just so tiny. If you, like, had no equipment on and then, like, sucked it in really good, you could put it on, but, like, your arms would stick out like 6 inches on each sleeve, and it would probably be more like a knee-high dress than it would be a full-length robe. It is snug and uncomfortable. You wouldn't be able to get it on over your equipment.
Then I'll go for a bigger one.
Okay.
What about this one? And Handy's, like, trying to, like, fumble into one of them.
Yeah.
And he's trying to open and, like, look through it, but he ends up, like, basically crawling in and out of it.
Mm-hmm. The next one you find is going to have, like, a 12-inch tail and an additional 5 or 6 inches on each sleeve in the wrong direction. Walking around, and they're, like, dangling off the front. They're entirely too long.
Fit. It doesn't fit.
Okay, so by tail, do you mean like
It's going
like
to
a
drag
tail, or like a? Okay,
It's just so much larger than you.
that's fine. She's going to take the tail and, like, tie it, and just, like, she's just wearing, like a kid wearing, an adult's clothes.
Are you still wearing that scarf that you took?
Yeah, she's going to use the scarf as the belt to help hold it up. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, now I'm one of them. So now I'm going to walk through the door because it's closed. And she's going to go confidently walk through that door.
Yeah, you march up the stairs and you pass the door and you confidently walk right back into the room. But you do it with a robe on this time.
I am very fashionable now. I have a fuzzy robe. I guess it's not a robe.
Does anybody remember what they were chanting? Can we try to recall what they were chanting and Handy wants to try and mimic it.
Okay, give me a second here.
What they were chanting wasn't in the room.
I don't remember if we discerned if it was a language that we understood or anything. I just remember there was chanting.
All right, do you think that there's a lot of this that, Dungeon World has its own set of rules, and there's a lot of things that come up that it's like, I want to address it in a certain way, or we get to play a little fast and loose because it's more fun that way. So do you think recollection, memory, is more wisdom or intelligence based?
I think it's recalling a memory recalling something that we had heard, like information, to me is intelligence.
Okay. Give me an intelligence roll.
Are we doing discern realities with intelligence?
No, just an intelligence. A roll with your intelligence modifier. Discern realities is about asking questions.
Oh, that's a 6.
All right.
That's a fail.
You 100% remember what it was, and will make an attempt at repeating it.
I was going to do the Finding Nemo, what they said in the tank, but I can't remember what it was. Was it shark bait, ooh-ha-ha?
Shark bait, ooh-ha-ha.
Shark bait, ooh-ha-ha. And I'll start going.
Rose will absolutely join in.
Shark bait, ooh-ha-ha.
Ooh-ha-ha.
Or I got to do it in Handy's voice. Shark bait, ooh-ha-ha.
Ooh-ha-ha. Shark bait, ha-ha-ha. Ooh, is it ooh-ha-ha?
I think so. I don't really remember, but it didn't sound like real words. So I shark baits for flair.
Oh,
but I think the hoo-ha was right. I like all these robes. Nothing happened.
Nothing
Can
happened.
I go talk to Liv?
You gonna get mad.
It's fine. I won't break anything. I'm gonna go back and talk to Liv.
While she goes back to the door, was there another set of doors? It was Liv's door, the stairs. Was there a third direction?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah, off to the right. There's another door off to the right.
Oh hell, let's look at that door real quick.
Yeah.
I even mentioned that while describing the room and the statues. I was like, there's also a door to the right.
Welcome to DMing. So
doors, they get you every time.
Okay. Oh wait, there's a hidden door over here. We should go look at this one and saunter up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Door locked. Is it? Open it.
Do you open the door?
I put my ear to the door and I listen.
The door murders you. Nothing happens.
Okay. I will open the door.
Okay. The door opens.
What do I see?
It is a smaller room, much smaller, probably about 12 by 12. And there are a variety of altars which have donations placed in front of them. More to follow.
Okay. I will step into that room, and are any of the altars particularly lacking in donations?
No. So you walk into the room and you see a variety of things. There is on the left-hand side, there is kind of like, there's a bunch of mirrors leaning up against the wall with one really large central mirror that is attached, a lot more ornate in nature. And then there are a variety of snake statues that have different types of equipment, items, money, not anything particularly fantastic. Like there are some poor looking rings and a few coins in a tray in front of one snake. And then off in front of another snake, there are like a pair of boots and some gloves and a funny looking hat. And then off in the corner, there's a couple of beat up weapons and some food. And then the room just has a couple of bookcases, a shelf with a bunch of scrolls on it, and then some candles and lanterns hanging around.
I'll come back to the room so the other members can see and hear me. I'll say, wait, don't bother her. I found something. Come here. I found altars and stuff.
She was already halfway through the door. Like,
got it.
Rose waits for no man.
Okay. Oh, wow, handy.
We might have to make an offering. Does anybody have anything they can give up?
I mean, not really. I kind of just have my clothes and my halberd. Can we take something from one of the other offering plates? What about those other ropes? Can we donate the ropes?
We could try.
Just stick them on the pile? All right, I'm going to run back into the room, just gather up all the robes, minus the one that Rose is wearing, bring them back and just set them on the pile of boots and gloves and such.
All right, so you come in with an armful. There's like a dozen robes, and so like there's this big heaping handful, and you just kind of dump them off in front of one of these statues. And there's now a pile of robes sitting in front of one of the statues.
Does anything happen?
It's a lot more cluttered in here.
Okay. I want to look around and just get two things. Clarification. Is each offering tray have a specific thing? Like all of the clothing items are in one and all of the food items are in one and all the coins are in one, or are they all kind of randomly scattered about?
No, it's pretty randomly scattered about. You're just able to pick out some big items that are visible at each location, but nothing it's not segregated.
Okay. Then I want, how many altars are there? How many offerings places?
7.
Okay. I want to distribute the robes. I'm going to put them in a little ball and stick them in the offering tray of each of the things.
All right, and so there's now a bunch of robes scattered across all 7 altars.
Well, that didn't do anything.
After he does that, I'll go back up the stairs and see if I pop out the other side. After he places all the ropes down.
All right, you go sprinting out the door and run up the stairs and pass through the door, and in front of you is a really large snake, and you're back in the same
Turn
room.
around and open up the door. And open up the door to Liv's chambers and just open up the door.
The door doesn't
Or is
open.
it locked?
I want to look around. Let's start in this room with the altars.
Okay.
And then go back into the next one. Like, is there any inscriptions, any writing, whether I understand it or not?
Yes, there are. There's the one thing that'll probably catch your eye is the plaque at the bottom of the mirror that is attached to the wall.
Okay. What does the plaque say? Read the plaque.
Yes, the plaque says, "Find the portal in mirrored affection. Witness the magic of self-reflection. No key of iron, no secret chant. Reveal the way through a mirror's glance."
There's a riddle over here at the bottom of the mirror. We got to look through it. So I'm going to start looking through the mirror, and I'm just going to move like around, and I want to resurvey the room that I'm in through the mirror.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a discern reality?
A discern realities. Oof.
Racking up that XP.
That was brutal. That's a 2.
So
Breaks the mirror.
Yeah.
We all die.
Well, I mean, does he get anything for rolling snake eyes?
Yeah.
Snake eyes.
Yeah.
We're in the snake temple. Snake eyes. That's actually a full success.
yeah, you summon a giant snake, and it starts eating you guys.
Well, hell.
You wake up in another land. Okay.
Where do you want to go?
So you're rummaging around, trying to, I don't know, figure something out in the room, and you don't know what it was, but you just hear like a click echo kind of off in the distance.
Like, and that's just like, I look through the mirror and I look around and I just hear a click.
Well, it's like I imagine that you were like rummaging through things, just trying to kind of get a feel for the room. And you don't know what it was that you touched that did that. Like, did you display something? Did you set something up? You don't know. Something clicked.
Okay.
Could you repeat the text again?
Could you post it in the chat?
Yes.
Post it in chat.
Please.
We'll take that.
I was going to try writing it down and then you just kept going. I'm like, oh.
And there's more. And also post all of your notes for this session.
Huh. It's kind of scattered. I got shit everywhere.
So you said Liv's door didn't open, right?
No, it's locked.
Can I knock on it?
Yes.
Knock, knock.
You open the door and you see a young man standing there.
Oh, I didn't open it because it was locked.
You don't open the door. The door opens and you see a young man standing there.
Oh, hi.
Hello. How can I help
Who
you?
are you?
Edette.
Who?
Edette.
That.
Edette. Yes.
It,
I'm not answering you because I can't hear you. You're in another room. But
actually, he said he went to Liv's store too. I thought, but you're not who I thought was going to be here.
you expecting
Is this your
someone? More or less, yes.
does it look like Liv's room, or is it completely different?
You could peek around him. Give me a defy danger to see if you can.
I just want to look at the room.
Look, it's inconsequential, but it makes it fun.
All right. What stat?
So you are trying to inconspicuously examine the living space without being seen.
Is that? I don't know what that would be.
You pick one and explain it to me, and yes.
Cool. Let me look at my stats real quick.
Let me metagame for my benefit.
Let me metagame.
Well, you're going to use your
I'm
strengths. That's what all
thinking-
players do.
No, I'm not. I was thinking of charisma because that is not my highest stat, but they'd make most sense. Like as she's talking, she's kind of, distracting him with body language and her flapping the robe arms around while also looking around.
Cool. Sounds great.
Cool. That is an 8, so partial success.
You can see that it is, for better or worse, the exact same room.
Interesting.
And
Can I,
he might have caught your glance, but doesn't seem to make a fuss about it.
can I come in?
Of course. What?
She's gonna go in.
What? The door closes behind you, and he draws a knife. No.
I mean, it would make sense.
How can I?
Closes in my face. Okay.
How can I help you?
Oh, well, I actually was trying to find the way out of that room. I kept going through my friends and I kept going through a door, but it kept putting us right back where we started. And there was somebody else here, I thought, but it might have been a different room. They kind of all start to look the same.
Yes,
I think.
That's understandable. What you're going to want to do is across the hall, up those stairs. That's the way out.
No, it's not, because that's the door that we kept going through, and that's the one that kept popping us out at the beginning. So unless there's a trick to going through the stairs.
Are you sure? I always just walk right out. I don't ever have any problems. I'm a little confused.
Is there something you do before you go through the door, or is it because you serve the god somebody?
Oh, Farelsh.
Farelsh.
Oh, well, I mean, that's an interesting. That's hard for me to answer because I've always worshipped Farelsh. So I don't know that I can really. I don't have that answer because I can always walk in and out of that door, but I also always worship Farelsh.
Oh yeah. Can you come with me?
Sure.
Can you hold my hand and see what happens? Because if you can go through that door, maybe you can drag me through the door, or maybe I'll just disappear and maybe you can figure out what the problem is.
Okay, sure. Why?
So hold up a sleeve.
So he kind of looks down at you and awkwardly grabs a sleeve and kind of drags you along like a toddler. And
I'm just gonna follow behind him.
I don't well, you know what? This is exciting if nothing else, because I don't get a lot of visitors down here. So you know what? Why not? And he walks you through the door, and you go up the stairs and walk through the door, and he just kind of stands there and he's like, okay, so I'm a little confused.
Am I back where I started, or I'm actually through the door?
Right now you're through the door.
Don't let go. I might disappear if you do.
That would be rather unusual.
It would be. It's very odd, too.
Me following right behind him, do I still...
So you could walk up the stairs and you can see them just beyond the doorway.
Okay. What happens if I walk up and try to put my hand on his shoulder?
When you pass through the doorway, you're going to blip back to the beginning. They are a little further in than you're able to reach.
I'm going to shout, Rose, don't let him go.
I'm not.
All right, buddy, come on back. We're going to get out of here all together.
I'm sorry. I have some more friends on the other side. I don't know where they went, but there's
So,
3 more.
Okay, well,
I don't know if a chain's going to...
I think I understand. And he walks back down the stairs with you and walks past it and sees that the door to the other room is open. And he's like, oh, I see you guys have found the offering room. It's a lot of fun stuff in there, eh? So it seems that if you're having problems, it's because you're being tested. And it is not my place to question my God and how he tests his followers. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to interfere here.
Oh, but if you could get me through that, doesn't that mean I passed the test then?
Would you like to find out?
I mean, when I went by myself, it popped me back, even though I gave Liv a very cool little snaky do thing.
She was very
I guess that
appreciative
wasn't-
of that.
Oh, do you know her?
Yes, that's my sister. And you
Oh.
notice that there is an uncanny resemblance between the two.
Oh, I can see that now that you say that. Yeah, I totally can see that.
I mean, twins, so
Cool. I have lots of siblings. Not a twin though, which is probably a good thing.
yeah, it's just us.
Oh, did your parents also worship Frelsh? Is that why you've always worshipped Frelsh?
I don't have parents. I don't have a recollection of parents.
Oh, I'm sorry, unless you're totally okay with it.
Totally
then-
okay with it.
Okay, then cool. So how do we test if I'm okay? Besides walking through the door, which apparently didn't work, which probably means I'm not okay.
I think you've answered your own question.
Okay, well, I've not been to this room yet. Could you explain it to me? Because I wasn't here when the rest of them came here.
What do you need explaining? This is the statue of Farelsh, and this is a temple devoted to him, and my sister and I are its keepers.
And what are those? And she's going to point to all the little altars.
Those are just various... Farelsh comes in many forms to many different people and different kinds, and Farelsh is capable of embodying whatever is necessary for everyone.
What is the Frelsh the god of? I know he's comes like a snake most of the time, but what's his... Sorry, I didn't grow up very religious, so I don't know.
No, that's all right.
proper
I
terms.
appreciate the curiosity. Not many that actually, I can't recall anyone ever being here willingly that did not know or worship Farelsh. So this is new for me as well. Farelsh is, what's the best way to put this? Farelsh is part of a balance to ensure that life, existence are possible and capable in their own right. That free will and independent thought, individuality, it's really hard to summarize. There's so many things that Farelsh is a champion of.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
It's not. Quite often, Farelsh could probably use some new marketing, but has a bad rap historic. Most people just don't seem to understand the significance of what is provided.
So if Farelsh is like the god of freedom, free choice, free will, and all that
Mhm.
stuff, then why would he be testing us on our free will to leave the door?
I am a servant of Farelsh, but I cannot speak directly for the way he operates.
Is it okay if I wear these robes? We just found them on. Well, I don't know what happened to the people who were wearing them before.
Oh, that's of no concern. You are welcome to it.
It's kind of nice having snug.
It looks a little large on you.
Yeah, the other one was a little too small.
Would you like one that fits?
Can it be a little bit too big? Because I do kind of like having the longer sleeves.
Sure. Give me a moment. And he
Thank you.
walks back into his room, and after a few moments returns with a robe that is just a little bit larger than you. We had one individual who wore this one, and he was an odd fellow. Proportions didn't really match up, so it's kind of gangly. So the arms are extra long on this one.
Oh, thank you. And she will sit there and undo the belt scarf thing and start putting on the other robe.
Hearing the new voice, Handy comes back into the main chamber.
Oh, we're in the altar chamber now, I think.
Oh, are we? Okay.
No, I just...
Oh, did we not go
Yeah,
in there?
no, just
Oh, okay.
just noticed that it was open and that there were people present.
I misunderstood.
Who's that?
Oh,
Do they,
hi, Handy.
can they get us out of here?
Yes and
Well, as
no.
though we're being
Hi,
tested.
This is it's Liv's brother, twin brother. That's Handy.
Does the room look the same? Like statues in the same position, always following us? Like, did the room like mirror itself,
Nope.
or is it the same?
It's the
Okay.
same. Dang.
Oh, sorry, I didn't introduce myself earlier. I'm Rose.
Oh,
That's Handy. And that's Time.
and he gives a deep bow to each of you. It is a pleasure to meet all of you.
Hmm.
Tested by Farrell. Get out of this damn place.
I don't know. Mimi found a mirror that had some writing on it. He's been looking at it for a while. I think he's trying to figure it out. It might have something to do with how we move on, but I don't know.
I'll go. over to Mimi with the
That is
mirror.
a rather special mirror. Did you read the plaque?
Oh, Mimi did, and he just like points into the room. I don't read very often, so I don't know.
Oh, it's a wonderful mirror. I'm rather fond of that one. There's many in there, but the the ornate decorations on the outside, the twin snakes entwined around the outside of the frame. It's wonderful, and the poem is just magnetic. I love it. There's a part of it that's missing that I can recite to you because I'm so fond of it. So there's the portion that you can see. Find the portal in the mirrored affection. Witness the magic of self-reflection. No key of iron, no secret chant. Reveal the way through a mirror's glance. One mirror to another, like enchanted kin, reveal the hidden path where dreams begin. In the mirrored dance, secret shall unfold, a passage through glass to tales of old. I'll go ahead and copy that next one on.
Time to go to the mirror and kind of discern anything about it. Like start like shifting it around, seeing if anything happens, or the poem strike any chord in my own knowledge.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and give the mirror a hefty look, you can roll a discern realities. I always have trouble with investigations. Discern realities can be really
Catch-all.
well, it's a good catch-all.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't always make sense in like, you're looking for something really specific and then you get like this list of questions. It's like, how do I tie those in, get y'all to figure out what it is?
What I'm looking for. Is it still wisdom based?
Yes. So when you discern realities, when you closely study a situation, roll plus whiz. On a 10 plus, ask 3 questions. From the list below, on a 7 to 9, ask 1.
5.
Oof.
All right, so you're kind of, observing the mirror and you look over the plaque and you can see that first stanza, but the second one's kind of scuffed out, and you see the twin snakes kind of intertwined in like silver and gold on the frame, and it's a very large, floor to ceiling almost ornate mirror. It's rather intricate, and then your finger catches on one of the fangs of the snake and you cut yourself and you're bleeding. You take a point of emotional damage.
Do our reflections look normal in the mirror?
Yes, they do.
Well, holding the mirror, like who can I see from the mirror right now? Can I see everybody, or can I see like one person or anybody?
I should be standing right next to you.
There are no visible tricks. Like it's a mirror that's probably about 3 feet wide, and depending on the angle, you can see whatever the reflection hits.
Okay. Oh wait, never mind. You're the snakes on the thing. I cut my finger on. Never mind.
Except for Handy, because he's a vampire. Just kidding.
Plot twist. That's how we find out.
So you're saying the mirror is door-sized.
I thought
Candy's gonna put his hand on the mirror and just kind of like he's patting down, but in that I would like to put some pressure, like pushing against the mirror.
Adet's kind of standing there and watching this. He's like, I don't know if you can tell, but that mirror is fixed to the wall. Like the other mirrors are just kind of leaning against, but that mirror's not going to go. I don't know why you're pushing on it. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just a mirror.
Well, I don't know. I've never seen a mirror before.
That is fascinating. I'm going to have to ask you more about that later.
It's like water. Like, have you ever looked into water? Like you look down into the water and you can see yourself?
No, I have not.
No, not. I was talking to Handy. I'm sorry.
He just like eyes wide, looks into the middle distance.
I do have some things that I must be attending to, so I will take my leave. And
wait. And she's gonna like dig through her little creature bag. Does Farelsh have any other animals besides a snake that he appears as?
Farelsh appears in many forms, but he is known as a snake.
Okay, but
Farelsh can be anything or anyone.
So what's your favorite animal?
Are you Farelsh?
A snake.
I already gave love my snake. She pulls out like a chicken, like it's like a little chicken that's like on a nest, or was supposed to be on a nest. And like out of her glass creature bag. And okay, I gave my only snake to live, but you can have this one.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Actually, hold on. I should take the chicken back. Hold on. I might have one that's closer to a snake. Hold on. Here's a lizard. A lizard's kind of like a snake.
A lizard is kind of like a snake. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. I will be sure to set this somewhere safe. Now, I must be going. I wish you all well.
Thank you. I hope to see you again and live.
That's a strange way of saying goodbye, but I hope that you don't die before I see you again then.
Would I see you if I died?
Very ominous.
Well, You just said you hope you see me again and don't die. I was just returning the favor with,
No, I didn't say.
I hope you
I
don't
didn't say
die before I
don't
see you
die.
again.
I was saying I hope I see you and live again sometime.
Oh, live. Oh, you're
Die.
talking about my sister. I thought you meant like be alive. And so I was a little confused.
Well, while they're having that conversation, Handy is, how big are the other mirrors? Are they?
There's a variety of mirrors. Some of them are really slender and really tall. Some are short and fat. You could basically, there's probably 15 or 16 mirrors scattered across the wall. There's a pocket mirror on the ground. You could name a size, you'll find one that's close. And
Right.
Edet leaves, returns to his room and closes the door. You hear it click in the distance.
Well, he was kind of like heading away. Handy's looking for like a mirror that he can pick up and like move around, and is seeing if he can like hold it in front of him and like, you know, move it around and see the big mirror within the mirror that he's holding, to like see the reflection of the reflection and kind of like try to survey the room with it as well, but also getting to where he's seeing the reflections within reflections.
Yeah, so you pick up a mirror and you walk in front of the other mirror, correct?
Yes, but I would be in between the two mirrors, so I have it in front of me. You guys are the mirror, and I'm like holding it, so I'm looking in, and it's bouncing back.
How big is the mirror that you're holding?
Like this? Probably I don't know, handy sized. So like 3 foot, like 3-ish foot tall, maybe 2 foot wide, maybe even a little smaller than that.
All right, so as you move with the mirror in front of the other one, and you're kind of trying to see yourself by like trying to look around yourself because you're in the way. So you're doing this dance to try and like get out of your own way between the mirrors so that you can see. And you can notice that there is an outline on the mirror behind you, the same size as the mirror that you're holding.
Ooh, look. And I'll just go up to Mimi and like try to show him what I'm seeing.
I look. Do I see it?
Yeah, you can see there's a faint outline on the mirror that's on the wall that is the size of the mirror that he's holding.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like a doorway. It's like the same size as the mirror.
Is that our doorway?
You don't. It looks
Try-
too small for me. Here,
Try it
can
with some of the other mirrors. Yeah. And I'll put that one down. Are there
I'm
bigger
gonna
ones?
hold the mirror and take it from Handy, and I'll just hold it for him. Like, can you go through it? Can you see? Can you touch that spot?
Yeah, I'll try like looking at that I'm like, and try to like find the spot and touch within the outline.
You reach your hand out, and you know, even with just trying to like blindly feel, you turn around and you tap it ever so slightly, and it moves.
Ooh, you moved it.
And what moves is, you know, you have your door frame, that the mirror that you're holding, there's an outline. That section, the small section, moves in, you know, 1/8 of an inch. I mean, you just barely touched it, but it's only the small mirror size portion that moves.
I'll put some more pressure on it to see how far it will go.
Yeah, it will push and swing open into a kind of dark hallway, and you can see there is a room about 15 feet in front of you that seems to be rather bright.
That's a pretty crazy spell. I've never seen a trap like this before. That's
There's a can you all see that? There's like a room in here.
Yeah, maybe it's not a spell or a trap. Maybe it's like a divine thing. He did say Varesh was testing us.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
cool magic.
Can you all fit? Oh, well, pointing to Mimi in time. Can you fit? Or do we need to get a bigger mirror?
3 foot tall by 2 foot wide.
Yeah.
Suck it in.
If
And
we crawl,
Handy will go in.
Yeah.
Handy
Okay.
will break the threshold of the mirror.
I'm gonna set the mirror down on the ground and just kind of lean it up against the wall so that I can still see that doorway in the mirror. And I'm just gonna walk backwards, crouch through, and follow Handy.
All right. As you guys kind of filter on through, the room has quite a glow to it. A little obnoxiously bright. It's bright yellow. And that's because as you kind of break the threshold of the room, you can see that it is a treasure room. There is gold and items scattered about, and the torches reflecting off of it cast a pretty significant light. And there are a handful of bookshelves with what seem to be some very nice looking tomes and a wall of decorative scrolls. And then in the center of the room, there is a handful of scrolls on an altar, and there's just treasure everywhere.
Rose hasn't come in yet, right? Rose is still in the other room.
Rose would have followed y'all.
I'm going to look at Rose and say, don't take anything. This is that God's secret treasure. They'll for sure know. Don't take nothing.
Well, what about the whole free will thing and
Mm,
like individuality?
Mm,
yeah, you shouldn't exercise that in this particular circumstances, I think. All right, you should
She's
come
going
with
to
me.
like look like she's going to touch something. Not
No.
take it, just like poke.
Do it. I'm gonna run for the door. Run back
Is,
to the mirror room.
Is there another door while we're in this room? Is there another door other than what we just came through?
No, there is just the doorway you came in with an inscription written across the top.
When I'm running back out of the room, can I read the inscription?
What does it say? What does it say?
It says, bold are those willing to turn their back on a snake.
Is there like a statue of a snake anywhere?
No, there's
In the main
one in the main chamber.
Well, there's a bunch of them in the main chamber.
Yes, there is. There's also a bunch in the altar room.
I'm gonna go back out the door and go back through the mirror door,
Mm-hmm.
and then going back to that room. And I'm gonna walk up the stairs backwards, looking at the snake, and walk through the door.
All right, and you step backwards up the stairs and manage to keep your footing, and you walk through the door. Then you are on the other side of the door.
That's
I'll
clever.
walk back and tell everyone that okay. So just carefully walk backwards up the stairs.
Okay.
Go figure.
I hear Time yell. I go. I follow him. I even just
I
walk
walk back.
backwards up the
I didn't
stairs.
yell.
And so, yeah, I follow him. Walk backwards up the stairs. Heel toe. Heel toe. Heel toe.
All right, so Time and Mimi have left, and Handy and Rose are still in the treasure room.
And scream down the stairs. Hey guys, Time figured it out.
Have we heard him?
Okay,
Okay.
well, let's go.
I want to do something that from what I can tell, Dungeon World doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with Druidcraft in 5e?
Not off.
By Pathfinder, I have to. Essentially, it's something druids can do. They can do basically tiny little nature magic to like make flowers sprout and like just inconsequential things with nature magic to make like the usually make flowers sprout or cause brambles to grow that don't really do anything other than just be there. More thematic stuff.
Right.
I would love to try to do something like that. So not that it needs a mechanic, I just wanted to frame that for the next bit. So I again, there's nothing in Dungeon World that says I can do it, but if you're cool with it, I would like to try to produce something in that realm. Okay. So before Handy steps out, he's going to go up to within this treasure room, and if there are any statues of like little busts of like the Pharrell snake, and
There are no statues. There are 3 altars. Well, I say altars. They're pillars, which house like a ornate scroll on each one of them. Those are kind of like the central points of this treasure room. And then there's, gold and equipment and stuff scattered around the perimeter, and then some additional scrolls on the wall, and then several bookshelves with some really nice looking books.
on the pillars themselves, so whichever one's closest to exiting back through the mirror, Handy's just going to touch the pillar, just kind of like walking by, and his hand starts to, not like he's even paying attention to it, but as he touches it, there's a tiny faint glow that you can see, kind of like when you put a flashlight up to your hand, like your palm of your finger, like on the edges, you can see some light. And he kind of closes his eyes for a minute, and maybe you can see him muttering something under his breath, maybe just talking to himself a little bit or thinking out loud, but not really saying anything. And some vines start to kind of like grow around the pillar, and tiny little, like, I'm trying to think of a good flower, some like little flowers, various things kind of like start sprouting up, just kind of like adorning one of the pillars with this a little bit of green. And again, not really focusing on it, just kind of having that happen. And then he goes back out through the mirror, like leaving something extra.
Well, that would be, in theory, what would see happen, but we need a roll for this.
Okay. What would you like me to roll?
It's basically, your skill. Right. So it would probably be just like a defy danger or wisdom.
Okay.
Which is basically just rolling with your wisdom modifier.
Do you want me to roll just wisdom, or do you want me to do defy danger in case there's complications?
The defy danger wisdom is fine.
Partial success.
Okay, so you create some nice vines that do a wonderful job of decorating this pillar, and the vines creep up a little higher than you had probably intended for them to, and they make contact with the scroll, which is kind of fixed in place, but it unlatches and unfurls itself and just kind of drapes over the front. And it looks like a contract.
Hearing it unfurl, I'll look up and I'll look at Rose and say, I didn't mean to do that.
But since it's open.
I was just trying to leave something nice. I might have broken something.
Hold on, stand there. And she's going to start climbing on top of Handy so she can read the contract better.
Okay, and I'll hold your legs.
If anyone TPKs this party, it's not going to be the GM, it's going to be us.
It's absolutely going to be Rose.
To do a little I was trying to do like a little druid offering,
just leave money next time.
Here you go. I don't have money. My shirts I have tattered clothing, I have nothing.
So it's fairly long worded, but very small text, as it normally is. Here's the bulk of what you can make out. There are a few lines that are the most significant. The first being a line of I hereby pledge my soul to the eternal servitude of Ferelsh. And then there's some contractual jargon and promise to serve the chaos god in all time for the sake of my, and then there's just kind of some stuff that's scribbled out. And with my blood, I will hold this contract forever. And at the bottom, you see two signatures. You see the first signature is poorly written, but it in pretty large scrawlings with a fingerprint on the outside. It says Orlath. And below that, it says, I accept your soul, Lividet Ferelsh.
Okay, I need to roll an intelligence check because Karish understood that Shiloh got that, but I don't know if Rose would have put two and two together. Oh, she's smart. I got a 10 on that. So she's reading that. I don't know if she recognized the first name. But the second name, she's like holding her hand and covering up the first part and then covering up the second part. Oh, Handy!
What?
I think we met Ferelsh.
Where?
I think Liv and Det was Ferelsh.
But they had legs.
Well, so do lizards. They did say that. Who asked if that was Ferelsh?
I did.
You knew the whole time. She's gonna sit there and like smack his head.
They ignored me, so I maybe they didn't hear me.
Or maybe they were not answering because they didn't want to answer.
Oh, maybe.
But look, the contract says Lividet Ferelsh. So Lividet's like their first name.
But they were two people.
They're a god. You don't think a god can appear as two different people not in the same place at the same time?
Again, staring off. Oh.
I don't think we should tell the others this.
Well, the others are going to have to wait until next week to find out how well you're able to keep that secret.
Jeez. Oh, man.
Oh, man. There's
that went by so quick.
Doors. Fucking doors.
I hate doors. Doors and elementary school level puzzles.
Doors and Rose friending everything. This time without goo.
No goo needed.
All right.
Man.
So let's
I was afraid to like take anything down and do like a whole Cave of Wonders situation.
I was gonna throw a coin, but I'm not gonna do that anymore. I already gave them stuff.
To be honest, I expected all of you to plunder. 100%. I was like, y'all are just gonna steal shit. Okay.
I was starting to get that impression.
If you said there was a glass creature, I absolutely would have. But you didn't say there was a glass creature, so
no crystal spiders here.
Well, you didn't look.
Dang.
All right.
So we didn't really look around the room.
Y'all,
no, because Mimi was like, GTFO guys, don't touch anything.
Let me tell you, you guys are fucking terrible at trying to like investigate further and deep dive. The fucking bones I am throwing here is wild.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
Listen,
okay.
I solved the riddle.
We're-
You just want to let me use that
We're,
solving
no,
of the riddle.
no, you guys put this together well. It's
Well, by now we've been in there for, a good 10 minutes or something. So the other two have got to get curious, guys.
No, we're just gonna run out and be like, everything's fine.
Before kind of ended, I was about to say, Time's going back over there saying, "What the heck is going on?" I was walking back.
end of session. Reach of end of session. Choose your bonds that you feel is resolved. Ask the player if you think it is. Has anyone got a bond that they think they've resolved? No.
No, nothing resolved.
Okay.
Is Mimi still pointing out my bond and like, don't touch anything?
Have any of you fulfilled your alignment at least once this session?
No.
Well,
Let's hear
if
it.
we want to get really, really pedantic.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Help something or someone grow. I did grow some vines. I don't think that's what that means.
I think that's a really strong stretch.
But something grew. Okay. Anyway, no, nothing for me.
Okay.
I don't know if trying to keep Rose from stealing preemptively counts as good or not.
Well, so let's hear the phrasing.
For good, committed to protecting those who cannot, will put self in harm's way without consideration to protect others.
I don't. No.
No, yeah. Now I was
You
just
did
going
good.
by the word
You
good,
found the
right?
moral
Like,
compass.
I
Like
did good.
you maintained
Not
your
that.
moral
Yeah, no, I
moral
got
path,
you.
but you did not put yourself in harm's way for the sake of saving someone else.
Primrose told me I'm supposed to trust her, but she hasn't earned it yet. But I feel like this is a great opportunity to work towards that.
I mean, to be fair, she didn't steal anything within your sight.
That I saw. Yeah, no, yeah.
Yet.
Yeah. And I'm fully willing to give her the benefit of doubt while she's out.
I
of
have
sight.
given from my special stash to 2 different people.
Yeah, no, I
You-
totally like I
You might be
like
able to
give her
write
the
that
benefit
bond
of doubt
off.
and assume the best.
Man.
To trust her, we'll get
I don't know if he understands how special that is to her, though. Like,
Right.
I don't think he
Yeah.
knows like that is her special thing.
All right.
I
And
don't.
did we learn something new and important about the world?
Well, about the
Pretty much.
world, probably not. About our
Yes.
immediate surroundings.
I feel
maybe.
like we did
Rose
because we
learned
found
new
out.
stuff.
I found out that what Farialsha is the god of
What was it? The god of chaos?
chaos, balance. They said individuality, free will. They were very vague on it.
So
I
let's
didn't understand
say-
chaos as part of that.
let's my assumption, my hunch, my GM-ness in me says that the two of you should be the only ones getting experience for that because you are currently the only ones that know of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know nothing.
Well, Handy and I also discovered about Livedet, however you pronounce it.
It's in the,
being same
chat.
Person. I know, but I can't. That's just
Li-
because I can read
yeah.
words doesn't mean I can say it.
It's Livedet.
Livedet.
Live
So
it at.
that's
I
an
totally wrote
experience.
the brother's name as in debt, so you know.
Same here.
So we get Rose and I get a +1 for that.
Yes, you do.
Level 3.
Did you
Oh no, I need one more.
So
Damn it.
close.
did you
I need one
overcome
more.
a notable
So close.
monster or enemy?
Two.
No.
No.
No, and I
Unless
don't
you
think
consider the mirror.
I don't no. It was notable in when the bards sing tales of old about your adventures, the mirror with the twin snakes will definitely come up. And no memorable treasures. So
No one can
Oh,
remember the treasures.
next time.
yep.
Maybe.